I'm doing multiple videos, so it's easier to
Yeah.
upload them.
Okay. So, you know, that's what I was trying to do, man. Is try to explain to the people what's going on. I ain't got no problem with it.
And we still, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai and the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, we still found out the truth, man. Okay.
Right. It was the will of the Most High.
And the elder, the brother with the YouTube channel, he's got like two of them, Holy Bible Defenders. All right, he be going into the old King James, the older versions of the King James of the Bible, you know, and it be saying different stuff, all right, than the regular King James, you know. It be saying, you know, heathen men, you know, Israelite, you know, it's different from you know, what the biblical destruction, you know, is, you know.
Right.
So I'm not saying that biblical destruction was a part of creating the King James.
No, they took the 1611 King James Bible that had all of the books of the Bible was supposed to be in it. Okay? And they took certain books out of the Bible deliberately and on purpose that had clues as to who the children of Israel truly are, who they could be traced back to today. Okay? Now, a man by the name of Abba Bivens, between 1957 and 1969, 1969, from these individuals that called him, he created a school by the name of One West, and out of this One West school came the people that taught us a great millstone. Okay, and they continue to teach us the truth of what it is today. And he came up with the 12 tribe sign. Okay, and fit it with the biblical prophecy found in Ezekiel chapter 37. Okay, verse 18. Okay.
You have to, it's like, anyway.
Go ahead, man.
For you to understand and receive and understand the 12 tribe sign, you have to be a spiritual person. All right, you can't be a carnal, tangible, surface-based person to understand the 12 tribe sign. Because the way we link, all right, the way Abba Bivens and us linked, all right, the 12 tribes of Israel to the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans over here on the west side of the world is through the spirit. Okay, it's not by, like, you know, it's like tangible evidence, DNA testing, you know, because you're not going to find the word Puerto Rico, Mexican, all right, African American in the Bible, man. All right, it's through the spirit. Okay.
Right. Now, if the brother could bring that sign over here of the 12 tribes,
Let's do it.
okay, it will explain the 12 tribes itself, all by itself. Okay, and then we'll just put the cameras on it. Hey, that way you can sit it on the ground. It's heavy, man.
Oh, it's all right.
You know, sit it on the ground. No big deal. See? Okay. Right, the 12 tribes of Israel. Explain the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, and why it's made out of paper too.
Got Ezekiel?
Okay, yeah, Ezekiel, hold on, let's get it.
Okay.
Let's go Ezekiel, because I was going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. It's all good. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37. I'll start at verse 16. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Go for it.
This is that one stick, all right? One out of the two sticks, all right? The tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi, which are mainly black, so-called black, with their outer appearance, man. All right, Judah, North American black people that came from West Africa, you know, around West Africa, Nigeria, all right? Okay, not East Africa, not South, you know, not North, no, West Africa. All right, that's why the land over there is called Nigeria, Niger. All right, which is actually Nigeria. All right, which means black. And what people on earth, all right, throughout history, biblical history too, are referenced as niggers. All right, niggards. All right, the Jews. All right, the tribe of Judah. All right, the southern kingdom of Israel, not the Hamites. All right, they're not Hamites. The brother isn't a Hamite because he's black. All right, it's because he's of the tribe of Judah. Okay, all right, which were referenced as black and depict, with their outer appearance. All right, that's why they were easy to hide amongst the Egyptians, which are Africans. All right, natural Africans, because they look black too. Okay, then Benjamin, all right, which are the West Indians, the Jamaicans for the most part, and Levi, which are the Haitians. All right,
all of that is one is one kingdom. It says it's over here, Southern Kingdom, right? Judah, Benjamin, and the Levi priests. That's the Southern Kingdom, and then the rest is here. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. Explain the other 10 tribes.
All right, these are the rest of the 10 tribes. All right, which left the Assyrian persecution, captivity. Okay, in Judah. All right, the 3 tribes, the southern kingdom, they stayed. All right, through the Grecian and the Roman captivity. Okay, in the old world. But the northern kingdom, all right, which are the Latinos and Native Americans.
Right.
All right.
They came over here.
Yeah, they came over here. All right.
And the part you go.
Yeah. Second Esdras,
chapter 13, verse 40.
13 and 40. Okay. All right. They were already over. We were already over here in the Americas. The Latinos, the Mexicans, and the Native Americans. All right. We were already over here, man. The natives, the indigenous people of this land. All right. All right, and this is how we came over here. All right, before the white man came over here and brought the southern kingdom through the transatlantic slave trade. All right, before the white man came over here and destroyed it, or destroyed this place and conquered us. All right, Second Esdras 13. He said 40.
Verse 40.
This says those are the 10 tribes. All right, these are 10 tribes right here, man. All right, it didn't say 3 tribes. All right, not all 12 tribes. It said the 10 tribes. All right. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land, all right, Israel, okay, out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they will leave the multitude of the heathen, all right, the Assyrians, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Okay, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. All right, that's why they went to captivity. Our people are rebellious. Because they didn't keep the statutes that the Lord blessed us with. That they might keep their own statutes. All right, which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood until they were passed over. All right, for through that country there was a great way to go. All right, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Azar. All right, and that great way to go is through. Oh, you got the sign, brother? Oh, the time? Oh, the sign. The Northern Kingdom sign.
Yeah, that's out here already. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. All right, this is that great way to go. All right, they were right here, man, in the Middle East, near Jerusalem, okay, and they went through. They went through Africa, not through Africa. They went under Africa, okay,
Right. They went from this point, which is the point of the northernmost part of Israel or Africa, okay, and they went around the Horn of Africa, and they came into to South America, okay, and they went from South America up into the northern part of America, okay, from South America to North America, and they dwelt on the Gulf of Mexico, okay, along with the Mississippi River, and went on to the original 13 colonies. You see what I'm saying?
And how do you
The
say
12. Who are the Native Americans and how did they get to America? The 12 tribes of Israel split into two kingdoms. The northern kingdom today called Latinos, Natives, and Indians, and the southern kingdom today called Negroes. Okay? In 2nd Ezra 13, it describes how the northern kingdom was captured out of Israel and carried into slavery in Assyria. They then made an agreement amongst themselves to travel to a land where no man dwelt before, so this way they could practice the commandments. So they entered the Euphrates and river, and the Most High guided them to Azareth, today known as the Americas. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. That's how the indigenous population of people got here, man.
And while they started in South America and went up north across the Americas, each tribe settled in each land. Naphtali settled in the southern part of South America, Asher in the middle part of South America, Zebulon in the Central America,
like Guatemala, Ecuador, Salvador, Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, all of these different places. This is where they settled. It tells you, gives you the roadmap of how they got there.
Issachar in Mexico, Manasseh in Cuba, Ephraim in Puerto Rico and the islands around there, and then Gad in North America.
Right.
All right. If I missed a tribe.
Right. You had Reuben.
Oh, Simeon.
Right.
No, Simeon. Oh, yeah, that's the Dominicans.
Right.
All right. And then Reuben. Yeah, the Seminole Indians. They settled in Florida, the southern, southeastern part of America, and then Gad went in all of North America. Just to be specific.
So that's what happened with our people. Okay, that's how we got over here. Okay, and a lot of these Edomite devils are waking up to the fact that a lot of the so-called Indians are so-called black people, because I made a video about it a couple of weeks ago called The Iniquity of Esau, the Dolls Rolls, okay, and changing their names, or something roughly paraphrased to that effect. But it's about the Dolls Rolls and how they dubbed Negroes on the indigenous population of people that were here. Okay, they were called niggers, beaners, and spics, blacks, right? In order to steal their land from them by their own law, because the indigenous population of people that were here, who were Israelites, they didn't know anything about no goddamn paperwork. Wasn't no such thing as paperwork. These motherfuckers came over here and stole everything that they have.
Can I pay you this? They just agreed, handshake,
Trade and barter.
Yeah, and even weddings. Because I was going into the topic of marriage. All right, you pay the father a dowry. All right, yeah, you can do it on paper, but it was just by word. And then you just paid them, and hey, got you a wife. All right, they didn't have sitting down at a desk for a couple hours on a Saturday afternoon and sign papers and handshake with a white man. And, you guys are married now. She gets 50% of your life. It wasn't like that back then.
Right, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 13, NLT. Except the way Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai does things, for who can straighten what he has made crooked? So the Most High made these Edomite Caucasians to be crooked. He made them to be the wicked, and he gave the earth into their hands. Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. Right? He gave them people in the earth, and the earth, the children of Israel, had been scattered amongst all nations upon the earth. So by giving the earth into the hands of the wicked, as it is written in Job chapter 9 verse 24, he effectively gave the Israelites that have been scattered everywhere into his hands as well. Go ahead.
Daniel
4 and 17.
It says, this matters by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth it up over it the basis of men.
Who are the base men? The Edomites.
So-called white men. Are they seen around here with these big old pickup trucks, you know? Okay, living lavishly in these modern day houses, these nice ass houses. All right?
Right.
I'm looking at one right now. They're living comfortable, you know?
Yeah,
they're supposed to be, you know, building our houses. They're supposed to be working on our ACs, our air conditioners. You know, we're fixing the plumbing. All right, doing construction. You know, picking our fruits. Okay, they're supposed to be doing that because they're the basis of it. All right, hey, the scriptures say the eldest shall serve the younger. Esau is the eldest. He's supposed to be serving us, and he will when the Lord returns.
He sure will.
But hey, through the Spirit, we're the eldest. All right, so hey, that's perfect. All right, the eldest, Jacob, through the Spirit, the Israelites were older. Through the Spirit, so hey, we served Esau. Now, the time is going to come when Esau is going to serve us. Okay.
Right. Now, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai does the exact same thing. He never changes. He did the same thing with Ephraim and Manasseh. Manasseh came out first because he was the eldest, so the blessing was supposed to pass on to him, but the Most High made it to where Ephraim had the blessing, not Manasseh. He did the same thing with Joseph of many colors. He made him to be ruler over Egypt. But first off, the Most High punished him by putting him in prison. Okay, and had his brothers sell him off as slavery. The same thing that happened to Joseph happened to us. He was sold off into slavery, and at the end of the day, the Most High made him king over all Egypt. So the Most High is going to make us king and priest, and we shall reign on the earth over the lives of the Gentiles. Okay, let's go. Let me get that for you then, because I was going to get it anyway.
Manasseh,
reign.
I believe Manasseh, the Hebrew word for Manasseh means to be forgotten, and really, you don't see very many Cubans. You do, but they're forgotten because they, you know, they're in Cuba, all right, and they're stuck there. You know, the Lord didn't forget them, but you know they're being oppressed. You know, in their own country. You know, nobody really talks about the Cubans, only about how bad it is. You know, all right, forgotten people.
Right. Check this out in the New Testament, because Elder Monatazak Ba had made a video concerning a Negro, I guess if you want to call him, a 2/3 Israelite talking shit, where he came up to a camp and asked them, I think it was probably IUIC, Sons of Thunder or somebody, and asked them, where does it say in the New Testament that the Israelites will reign over their enemies? Right? Here's one. Luke chapter 19, verse 14. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Luke 19 and 27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay before me. Romans chapter 5, verse 17. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they which shall receive abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one, Yahawashi HaMashiach. Right? Romans 5 and 21. That as sin hath reigned unto death, even so grace might reign through righteousness unto eternal life by Yahawashi HaMashiach our Lord. Right? Okay. Romans 15 and 12. And again, Isaiah says, there shall be a root of Jesse, and he that shall rise to reign over the Gentiles, in him shall the Gentiles trust. Okay, so yeah, we're going to rule over the Gentiles. Dude, whoever the fuck you are, okay, where it says in the New Testament, where does it say that the Israelites will reign over the Gentiles? I just read it. Romans 15 and 12 again. And again, Isaiah said, there shall be a root of Jesse, and he that shall rise to reign over the Gentiles, in him shall the Gentiles trust. Right? 1 Corinthians 4 and 8. Now ye are full, now ye are rich, ye have reigned as kings without us, and I would to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, ye did reign, that we might also reign with you. Right? First Corinthians 15 and 25. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet. Who are the enemies of the Israelites? Esau, Edom, and the nations. Okay, get Psalms 83, verse 3. Start there and read to verse 7. Right? So it's giving you, different instances through precepts that the children of Israel shall reign as kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Right? And righteousness and rulership as kings and priests. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, go for it, brother.
Psalms 83.
Right? And 3, verse 3.
Says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as Jabin at the brook of Kasan.
That's it. My point being is that it gave you a laundry list of all of the different nations who are become the enemies of the children of Israel. Right? And those are the individuals we're going to reign over. Revelation chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto our God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. So yeah, we're going to reign over and rule over you Edomite, Caucasian Gentiles. And a goddamn thing you can do about it.
And you so-called Asians, you so-called Arabs, all right? You so-called Hamites, natural Africans, okay? I think I just brought up that term, just made it myself, natural Africans,
right?
Because there's a lot of Jakes in Africa. And you Islanders, you Japhites, okay? Which eat each other, eat each other's brains. Anyway, we're going to be ruling over y'all, man, if you like it or not, okay?
Yeah,
okay?
We're going to be ruling in righteousness.
And if you want any type of relief, keep the laws and statutes and commandments and be good servants unto us,
Hey, we're going to spread you out into the universe, into creation.
Yeah.
You're going to be on different galaxies.
See those stars that your ancestors be making stories about, other gods' story, wicked stories about, you're going to be amongst those stars. All right, we're going to send y'all, you're going to live up there and work for us, And we're also going to give you land, put you back in your land that the Lord gave you, on earth, But that's after the 1,000 years of you busting your ass, building up the kingdom of heaven for us, man. Okay?
Right. Revelation chapter 11, verse 15.
That does not mean you're going to be saved. That does not equal salvation. All right? Hakah and Assad. All right? All right? That's why you guys aren't preaching no more. That's why the Lord broke y'all up. The Lord brought y'all down to the ground. Just like your forefather, your high priest, Alazar. Okay?
Right. Revelation chapter 11, verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord Yahushua, and of his the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and of his Hamashiach, his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. Okay. Now, where is that? Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. Let's get it. Right.
Revelation 2.
Yeah. Revelation 2 and 26.
It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. All right, and I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit has said unto the churches. Okay, hey, that's New Testament right there. We're gonna be ruling over you heathens. All right, you non-Israelites, you non-Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, with the rod of iron, which means Google it, what does rod of iron mean? It means rigorous rule. All right, you got it.
What's that?
The definition or the meaning of ruling with the rod of iron.
Okay, let's type it.
It means, I forgot what it means. It means rigorous rule over people, something like that. I got that. You know, hey, that's New Testament for you. Man. All right, the God of the Bible.
Oh, here it is, right here.
He don't change.
What the fuck? It just switched over to some World Cup called bullshit. Wow. Rule with rod of iron. To rule with the rod of iron means to govern or control with absolute, unyielding, and often severe authority. The phrase implies strict discipline where defiance is met with firm, unbreakable power and no room for compromise. Okay?
And that's what you heathens, all right, you non-Israelites, all right, have to look forward to. Okay, get ready. Okay.
Biblical origins. This idiom originates from several passages in the Bible, primarily in the book of Revelation and in the book of Psalms, where it describes divine justice and the ultimate power of the anointed over defiant nations. The phrase is frequently used to symbolize a rain that shatters opposition, much like brittle pottery. In religious texts, it is frequently referenced in prophecies regarding the anointed's future earthly kingdom, emphasizing strict enforcement of holy laws and the suppression of all rebellion.
And that sounds exactly like who? Our apostles and what they say. They've been telling us that even before we, started coming out here prophesying, man. All right, and you heathens, we're whooping your asses to subjection. All right, if you break the laws, commandments of the Lord, you start going back to eating jellyfish and eating each other's flesh and whatnot. All right, being wicked, we're gonna beat your ass, like literally. Sorry, I have to say it like that, but that's what it means. Okay, you break the laws of the Lord. All right, you get punished for it. What happens here? All right, on earth. All right, you break the laws of the land, you get punished for it. Okay, you get unalived, you get stoned, you get put in prison for half your fucking life or your whole life. Okay, same thing in the kingdom of heaven. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be not the laws of the white man, it's going to be the laws of the Bible. Okay, and how beautiful is that, man? All right, I can't wait. Okay, once the laws of the Bible are established on earth, okay, the whole earth, everything's going to go back to paradise, the way it should be, the way it was, the way it's supposed to be. You heathens are going to eventually start appreciating that, all right, because you're going to be eating actual food, all right, living longer, living taller, all right, maybe not as tall as us Israelites, okay, you're going to be happier, okay, life's going to be better after that 1,000 years of punishment, all right. You're going to look at the kingdom of heaven and be like, yeah, our people built that. Yeah. The Israelites. And you're going to go to the Israelites, all right, and give them praise. In the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, and say how beautiful it is to serve the God of the Israelites, Yahweh, by Yahweh Shai. All right? 2 Peter. Got something.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go back to Wisdom of Solomon, actually, because we didn't get a chance to finish Ezekiel 37. But anyway, Ezekiel chapter 37, okay, verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions, and join them one another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Then say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Okay, and the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Now you understand the 12 tribe sign? Okay, that's what's happening. The Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai has brought us forth out of the mindset of the false god of Caesarea Borgia of the Gentiles that was forced into us during the transatlantic slave trade and into slavery, where they hung us from a tree for fun, for sport. They raped our women. They broke our men. Buck breaking. Let's go off into buck breaking. This is just some of the shit that they've done to us, man.
And if you don't be a good slave to your master, all right, you're gonna, and when you die, you're gonna burn in hell forever, non-stop. The devil.
Right? The term buck breaking often refers to a historical and sociological concept describing the violent, often public degradation and sexual exploitation of enslaved black men by white enslavers. It is primarily discussed as a tool of dominance intended to strip black men of their masculinity and enforce total subjugation. Right? The historical context, origins and purpose. The term stems from the era of chattel slavery in the Americas. The buck was a derogatory term used by white enslavers to describe young, strong, enslaved black men. Buck breaking refers to the alleged practice of torturing, publicly flogging, and sexually assaulting these men, sometimes in front of their families or other enslaved people, to break their spirits and establish absolute control. You believe that Esau Edom is going to goddamn walk right up into the kingdom of heaven after having done this to the children of Israel by the force of the sword at the time that their iniquity had an end? You're insane. You better goddamn get used to the fact that Esau Edom is going to become a perpetual slave for 1,000 years.
You get these white people who are like, oh, look, this world is different now. You know, that was bad. You know, our people aren't like that no more. Well, that same buck breaking is still going on today. Look at LeBron James. Look at these big, buff, brawly athletes. You know, in the sports world, what's going on to them? They're
right.
They make these JEWs, these small hats, make them wear dresses. All right, they make them bend over and take it by these Jews. All right, JEW, Slovakia. Okay, you know, and they record it. So if they go off and do something that they don't want him to do, all right, they post it. You know, they put it on the internet. They expose them. All right. They get them drunk and make them do stuff that they don't usually do, all right? So they buck break these athletes. Hey, LeBron can't do he can't do and say what he wants to do, man. Hey, the reporters that asked him, you know, what do you think about after retirement? And LeBron was like, I just want to live, man. I just want to live. And everybody's like, what kind of answer is that, man? You know, he didn't say anything about I want to start a new business. I want to just do this and that. No, he said he just wants to live. He's not living, man. That's why he isn't retired, because you know what happens when he stops making money for the JEWs, the white man? All right, he's gonna have to give up. He's gonna have to give up, do that humiliate. He already did the humiliation ritual. He's gonna have to pay back. Okay.
Right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 8. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by him. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his word shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. And buck breaking is a wicked deed, don't you agree? You gonna rape a man up his ass in front of his wife and kids? What kind of shit is that? But this is the wickedness of these Edomite Caucasians and the wickedness that they did. They raped us up the ass in front of our wife and children, in front of our compatriots that we had to go out the next day and pick cotton with. Okay, they demasculined us. Okay, and now they come up with this bullshit now called toxic masculinity. Okay, they would say the way that I talk or the way that I act as a man is toxic. I should be get in touch more with my feminine side. You know, fuck you. The Most High gave me a dick and balls with testosterone in it. What am I supposed to do? Get mad and pissed off?
It's like telling a dog to not bark when it's time to bark. You know?
Right. You trying to tell a bird not to fly when it's time for him to fly.
Tell a lion you can't eat meat, man. You got to eat grass, or you got to eat grass.
Right. I mean, you already fagged out the giraffes in Africa. Yeah. You got 2 male giraffes fucking each other in the ass. That's too much.
This world has gone so perverse. It's gotten so bad that the animals are becoming gay, man.
Right.
You got. Hey man, I went to Oklahoma months ago to their zoo. They had an LGBTQ chimpanzee, man. They had a rainbow jacket, you know. And I'm like, oh my god. Hey, this place has to go.
We got to get out of here,
We gotta
man.
get outta here.
If we don't get out of here, these Edomites are going to succeed in what their wicked imaginations against us and fag us all out. Ain't going to be a real man amongst us. And the Most High going to have to burn us all up and start all over. That's what these Edomites are hoping for. You know, they want the Most High to start all over with them and start over all over. Okay, and kill us all. Esau, Edom as a child at the end of the day. Go to Genesis chapter 27, verses 39 through 41.
Genesis 27.
Yeah, Genesis chapter 27, verses 37. We'll start at 38. No, 37 through 41, 4 verses.
Genesis 27 and 37. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine. Lock it.
Edomites, you know, they scared to death, man. Because they wonder what, yeah, keep going.
Lock it.
They tripping.
I have made
All the
him
signs.
thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou been one blessing my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Okay, for the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
And that's exactly what these Edomites are doing.
And had me
Remember,
do it.
hast thou a blessing, my father, even me, oh my father, being a goddamn crybaby. He told a goddamn lie and said, and told his father Isaac, is not Jacob rightly named that name? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. That was a lie. Esau sold his birthright for 1 morsel of meat.
Yeah.
The blessing and the birthright go together. So when he sold the birthright, he sold the blessing, okay, unbeknownst to him. Okay, so he didn't get either one of them. He didn't think about the latter end of his actions or his thoughts. So he decided, well, fuck it. I'm going to sell this birthright. What good is it going to do me if I starve to death? And he didn't think about it. I asked the child.